Meeting to order. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. If everyone's had an opportunity to review the minutes, may I get a motion to adopt the minutes as distributed?
I'll move it.
I'll second it. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carried. We're going to have a public hearing to consider local law number 8 of 2023, battery storage for solar projects under Chapter 102 of the Town of Lysander Code. We have a motion to open up the public hearing.
I'll move that. I'll second that.
Okay. Public hearing is now open. Is there anyone wishing to speak for or against the proposed local law?
Oh, I just want a little bit, try to get a little bit. Fred Birch, Plainview Road. Just, I didn't have an opportunity to read it. So is this moratorium on the batteries, is it just covering commercial? Is it also residential?
What's covering the batteries?
Covers any battery storage, and that's in our code now. That's what it's covered.
So that, just for example, if an individual just wanted to get a singular solar panel and hook it up to their hot water heater and have a battery backup on it, that's not going to be a go.
I don't know if it's a battery storage or not.
Now, what about properties that have existing battery storage now? Are they grandfathered in and they're not going to have to worry about it
They're not going to be getting any permits in the future
in the future?
until we get done with it.
Yeah, I'm not against what you guys are doing. I'm just trying to get a little bit better clarification, and then also, for people that are considering that in the future. Now, would a business potentially be able to approach town hall about the possibility of getting a permit during the moratorium? It's just outright nothing.
That's why it's a moratorium.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't do it. Right, we're putting a pause on it.
And then
There's a lot of issues with it that we aren't experts in enough, so we have to wait
Get time to get up to speed, right? So is this going to be? Is this for 6 months?
Pardon me?
Is the moratorium for 6 months?
Right now,
Okay, and then in 6 months we'll probably revisit it again?
Yeah, we'll
Okay.
definitely revisit it.
Okay.
Whether we want to extend it, or it all depends on what the state's going to do. They're
Okay.
reviewing this now, and they're going to come up with different
Okay.
criteria, so.
I know my personal opinion probably doesn't matter to the board, but my personal opinion regarding this is if you have an industrial setup where there's a storage and it's not being monitored by somebody on site, I am totally against that because that's a potential for hazard. If there's a homeowner setup and it's small and it's safe and there's somebody that's monitoring on a daily basis, in other words, they're not there just once every 6 months or something, I think those are safe enough and small enough that we might be able to entertain something like that in the future. So, thank you.
Okay. Anyone else?
Ed Schmidt, he's really. Really, I'm here to voice my concern about this moratorium, specifically where it affects homeowners. If homeowners want to save a little money on their electric bill and maybe put some panels on the roof and have a small system, I don't see any problem with that. If you want to put a moratorium on the big solar farms, knock yourselves out, no problem. But if you think about it, batteries for a home system are going to be 10 kilowatt hours, 20 kilowatt hours, something like that. The farm ones are 100 megawatts or more. So it's really not the same thing. That and, we use batteries, those kind of batteries, lithium-ion batteries, and all kinds of things. They're in our electric cars, in our hybrids, in our power tools.
And there's problems with those as well.
Right, but you're not going to tell people you can't get an electric car. There's bunches of them out there that are ready. People charge them in their garages right now. A Nissan Leaf, for example, has a 40 kilowatt hour system in it that people charge. And you don't hear about these things causing fires and getting being a big problem in people's garages. Then even things like laptops, your laptop batteries, your cordless vacuums. I got a cordless weed eater I use. They all have lithium-ion batteries. You're gonna block all of those too. It's crazy.
We're not blocking batteries, it's a storage. And the state is the one that's concerned about this, because fire people don't have the equipment to take care of them, and it's been a problem. So the state is saying, let us look at this. That's all we're doing. The state's going to dictate a lot of what you're talking about.
But yeah, bottom line is, you're putting in this blanket rule that you're throwing out the baby with the bathwater, right? You got a small system in someone's home that poses very little risk, and they're out there, they're being used today. I hear you talking about all the time about how you have to keep taxes down, you have to watch budget, things are so hard on homeowners, and this is something that can actually help homeowners, and you're causing them problems. Why would you want to do that? Like I said, you want to block them on the great big solar farms, go to it. But the small home systems, it seems unreasonably burdensome to the taxpayers and the local folks here.
Let me see if I understand you correctly. Are you saying that the home systems generally use a battery system? Because I
They do,
went to solar
yeah.
and it goes directly into the grid. It doesn't. There's no batteries involved in it.
It depends on the kind, but if you want to use your solar at night or whatever, you're going to have a battery system. The Tesla system with the big wall of batteries in the garage, that all stores it in there. And generally what you do is you take it in, you put it into a battery, you turn it, and then you run it through an inverter, and that thing goes out to the system. So you would have batteries regardless, just feed it there. Because you got to make sure you got enough power, so you're not going to be feeding power into the system that's too low or is not at the right frequency, things like that. So you got to get kind of a critical mass and convert it.
Yeah, I have a question, because our law has solar under one and then battery storage under another, so.
It does, and there's a reason for that. Because battery energy storage is not only used for solar systems. Battery energy storage can be used for wind farms. Battery energy storage can be used at hydro plants. Battery energy storage can be used at any power generating facility that the grid does not have adequate capacity to accept peak power that is generated. Our law also includes 2 tiers of battery energy storage systems. Tier 1 is 600 kilowatt hours, which would be a home system. Tier 2 is anything larger, the 600 kilowatts or less. Tier 2 is anything larger than 600 kilowatts. So the systems that have been in the news that have had problems obviously would be Tier 2 commercial type systems. That are the concern. So the board does have the option if you wanted to do a moratorium on both or just Tier 2. With that being said, from a fire training and fire prevention standpoint and preparedness for a battery fire, that's something that we should probably talk to our local fire companies about and ask if they are comfortable, or try to get some feedback before the public hearing. Hey, are you guys comfortable if there's a fire in a home with a small battery energy storage system? Are you comfortable fighting that fire?
To that specifically, I was at a public safety meeting the other night with all the local, not all, but all the local fire departments are represented there. Not all of them were there that night. And they knew that we were putting a moratorium on this. Not one of them had a problem with the moratorium. In fact, I think they were in favor of it from the indications I got. So,
because they don't want to save money, or they're not in a position to try to save money on their electric bill at home.
well, I don't
Fighting
know.
the fire, I think, is their major concern of how you would handle it. But when you brought up home storage, if we make a moratorium on this, somebody has a home storage system for their electric car, are we preventing that?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. An electric car is not covered by this. So the way the local law reads is one or more devices assembled together capable of storing energy in order to supply electrical energy at a future time, not to include standalone 12-volt car batteries or an electric motor vehicle. A battery energy storage system is classified as Tier 1 or Tier 2 energy storage systems. And I just gave you the definition of Tier 1 and Tier 2. So somebody storing their Tesla in their garage is not an issue with this moratorium.
Right, but what if somebody has a battery system they install? I mean, I don't know anything about electric cars, I don't have one. What if they have a storage system in their house and could install one to feed their car if the power's out? Is that?
That would be a Tier 1 system.
Right.
That would be a Tier 1 system. So
But right
if you
now-
had a solar panel that was charging a battery that you're using to power or charge your electric car, that would be a Tier 1 solar system.
Right, but if we went through with this moratorium the way it's written now, would we prevent somebody from putting that in their house? No?
Yes, because it would be a Tier 1 system. If you do the blanket moratorium on all battery energy storage systems, by definition, the small systems would have a moratorium on them as well.
Okay.
What about RVs?
Same
I
thing.
got 4 solar panels on my RV.
Okay,
I got 4 batteries in my RV.
okay. Are they 4 batteries?
12 batteries.
They're 12-volt car batteries?
No, they're the marine batteries.
Yeah, 12-volt.
Yeah.
They would be exempt.
Okay.
They would be exempt.
So then the other thing I'd like to note is, for this public hearing, there's supposed to be a posting on the website 24 hours in advance. And I looked and looked and looked for several days, and even today, it wasn't there.
Well, our clerk isn't here, so I can't answer to that because she's the one that takes care of that. But we pay attention to that, and I believe that this would have been out around 2 o'clock yesterday. But like with any computer-generated media, that there could have been a glitch in it. I don't know.
All right, but even the agenda for today wasn't out, 24 hours in advance.
Ms. Falcone, was our agenda and the advertisement for the public hearing posted?
Yes.
When was it posted?
Sorry, I had to go out and grab my key.
No, that's all right. When was that posted?
Last night, I meant to talk to you about that.
Around 2 o'clock in the afternoon?
Yeah, well, we were having problems with the website again.
Okay.
It was showing errors, so I was working on that, but I had posted it, but it didn't go through, I guess,
Doesn't follow
certain
the messenger.
avenues.
I saw it in Messenger.
Oh, yeah, it was the messenger and the post
It
standard.
was the Messenger.
So it didn't get posted on the website until the website was able
Until the
to
website
receive.
did, yeah, I'm gonna be talking to the board about our website soon.
Yeah, it needs an overhaul.
We need an overhaul.
It was
I know
posted in the
sometimes if you go to the website,
Oh, yeah. it
cookies
was
or
supposed
the
to-
inherent memory, it'll stop, you have to refresh it to see the update. I've had that issue where I'm like, it's not there, and
It's
it's
a
told me
common
it's there, and
problem
it
with
is.
the website.
And was it posted on our board?
Always.
Yeah.
Okay, so the answer to your question is, we have to, if we have access to the internet, we should put it on the internet. If we don't have access to it, then it's up on the board, and that's the official posting. So it was up there, and like the gentleman said, it was in the messenger. So we met the criteria for what it is.
Yeah, actually it says, if the agency in which a public body functions, blah, 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 maintains a regularly and routinely updated website and utilizes high-speed internet connection, records scheduled to be discussed shall be posted on the website to the extent practical at least 24 hours.
If possible,
Yeah,
if possible.
if possible. But if well, you can roll your eyes, but if
Well-
we have a problem, hold on. I'm trying to answer your question. If we have a problem with wonder if the internet went down here.
No, I understand that. It seems every time there's a meeting, this is the problem. That you very rarely, if ever, get these out in 24 hours.
That's not true. Sorry.
Well,
It's not true. Sorry.
Well, they don't come through at my house.
Thank you.
Oh, just Fred Birch again, a follow-up. I'm not coming up here to waste your time. I actually got a little tiny bit of experience in the stuff that we've been talking about with solar panels. I went to school. And Mr. Schmidt is right in one aspect. There are two types of systems. And Mr. Grassi was asking, there's a system that feeds directly into the grid. You don't get any money for that. New York State backfeeds your meter. And you could backfeed and your system go down and not work for 10 years and you can still be getting your free electricity minus the fee that you have to pay for because you built it up over time. That's one set. Different way of doing it is with battery storage. And it's illegal to put the batteries in the house. In New York State, when you have a backup battery system, it has to be in a shed a certain amount of feet away from the home or the building. And you have to have a certain amount of acreage based on the size of your system. I don't have a permanent system. I have a portable camping system. It's a 3 kilowatt with backup batteries. And it's just marine batteries. And the solar feeds the marine battery. The battery hooks up to an inverter. You plug into the inverter, you got electricity. I use the solar panel to charge my marine battery that's in my truck now, and then I got signage hooked up to it that runs off from it. When the battery depletes, I can hook the solar panel up to it again.
But you've had that up.
I've had that for
So this doesn't.
12 or 13 years, but I was just trying to come up to fix it. Now, there is situations where people have a system where it backfeeds the grid, but also have a battery backup. And in that situation, they have a special device that when that battery power kicks in, it automatically pulls off the mains from their house. Because you don't want to be operating with battery power going to your mains and then have a worker out on the line because the power went down. So in those situations, they can use battery backup, but you have an expensive device that automatically cuts your mains so that you're not sending power back out to the grid like you normally would when you're backfeeding. So I know there's people that have those systems. I know there's one in the town of Van Buren that has it. I'm not sure in Lysander, but I know there's individual homeowners that have a setup like that. And I think if you have the money, that's the preferred setup, so that you can actually have backup power when your power is down. Otherwise, you're just reducing your electricity bill a little bit more. You're not protecting yourself for when the power is out. And if you got the money to buy, solar or wind or something like that, I'm not sure, backup generators or something like that, but it's probably more expensive than the battery hookup. But anyways, none of them are allowed to be in the house. They have to be in what's called a storage shed in a certain amount of distance away from the home. So in the event that there is a fire, you're not losing your house. You're just, that battery shed. Thanks.
I didn't know that. Anyone else? Okay.
So, can I make a comment?
Yep, sure.
So how hard would it be for us, and we maybe should have this discussion, to make our law only tier 2? Because if the batteries are outside the home, we don't have to worry about the safety of our first responders going into a home. I don't care if the shed burns down, right? As long as nobody gets hurt. If we make our moratorium on tier 2, what do you guys think about that?
I agree with you, I don't want to limit a homeowner,
Yep.
that has it for
And I
their,
didn't understand that. I know Al explained the difference.
I didn't
I
know
understand,
that.
and
I understand. Tier 1 would be the homeowner.
So I got
Tier 2 would be
educated today, so thank you all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to just do tier 2.
You good with that?
Yeah, we could just adjust, we won't have to have another public hearing, right? Because we're having a hearing, we can make the modification.
It's less than what you published.
Okay.
Could you modify that motion 8 to reflect what we want to do, Tony? Or Al?
Yeah, so it would just be to adopt local law number 8 of 2023 to establish a moratorium under section 102 of the Town of Lysander Code, battery storage it'd be bad for tier 2 battery energy storage systems. That would be it. So you
So
just,
in between code and battery, just put for tier 2.
Yeah, battery storage for Tier 2 battery energy storage systems you're eliminating.
Yeah, I don't think so. Keep this.
no, so so you're gonna cite chapter 102.
Yep.
Town of Lysander Code.
Yep,
Chapter 102.
yep.
Battery energy storage
Tier 2 battery energy storage. Yep.
for tier 2 battery energy storage systems. I'll write it on a piece of paper and hand it off.
All right, thank you. Okay. Anybody else? Okay. May I have a motion to close the public hearing?
I'll move it.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, any abstentions? Okay, the public hearing is now closed. Citizens' comments regarding agenda items only. Anyone?
I noticed there's on motion D for the clerk's office, and I've seen these before, I never asked, what do we do with this stuff when, oh yeah, what do we do when, I've seen this stuff before for office
Surplus.
tables and chairs and
Yeah.
cabinets and monitors. Do they just go to recycle, or?
No, we put them on,
Well, this one has to, this one will go over the highway department and their bin.
recycle, oh, okay. If they.
Try to repurpose them or something, but if they're no good, then we recycle?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Anyone else? No? Okay. Move on. More comments. I'll start with you, Mr. Moore.
Thank you, everyone, for coming out. Thanks for coming to the mic and talking, and thank you to everyone who is watching at home.
Thank you for coming out. It's good to have people in the audience keeping us on our toes, and I'll stick to the agenda.
I too will thank everyone for coming out and watching on PAC-B. I did have the opportunity to go check out the Parade of Homes right around the corner yesterday, so I encourage everyone to go take a look at them. We got some beautiful builders in our area, and I look forward to seeing more of their work in our town.
Thank you, everybody, for attending and those watching on PAC-B. Appreciate PAC-B being here. I had the opportunity to go out to the Baldwin pickleball tournament. Saw some people on Sunday morning. It was pretty impressive. It was neat to see people out there playing, enjoying themselves at the park. And I did not get to taste the ball this weekend. I was with my father. But I heard it was from everybody that went, said it was a great time. Awesome thing we have in the community. We have Paper Mill Island right there in the middle of the village. Thank you all. Stick to the agenda.
Okay. I attended a dedication over at the Canton Woods Senior Center to help Meals on Wheels project. And the Meals on Wheels organization is in dire need of additional monies. They're taking on a lot of people right now that are in need of meals, and they're doing a lot more than they have in the past. So they do need additional money. If you have some money, extra money, and you can spare a donation, I'm sure that they would appreciate donation, because they do help a lot of people in our community and these are people that are in need. They are people that if they need meals, I mean, that's the worst thing you could have is shelter and food. Those are two of the basic needs, and some people don't even have that. Most of the people in this town are very fortunate. They live in a fairly affluent community, but even in this affluent community, there are a lot of people in need. So I would encourage people to, if they can, send a donation to Meals on Wheels at, they can send it to Canton. They'll get it to, if you, Canton Senior Center, and that'll go through. I had an opportunity to attend it's called the 100 Women with $100. It's for Maureen's Hope. Their facility or office is in the middle of the Four Corners, and it's 100 women, local women, that donate at least $100 apiece to go for, I'm not sure everything it does, but I know it goes, people that are having issues with cancer, the money goes to help people deal with the issues of cancer in their family. And it's the first time my wife told me I was volunteering, so I showed up and I volunteered, and I'm going to do it more because I was really, really impressed with the organization, of the women that spend the amount of time that they spend to put that together. And they're all women from, well, they're from the community. I mean, they come from Clay and Lysander and Van Buren. But they're basically from our Baldwinsville metropolitan area. And it was held at the Tormey's residence. And it was just a beautiful place, and they're just wonderful people to open up their home the way that they did. And that organization just does a nice job, and that event was just spectacular. And that's just another example of the way that people in this community help other people in our community. So I just wanted to point that out because I was very impressed with that, since it was the first time that I was there. Okay, department head reports.
Registration for Halloween window painting is ongoing, so that can be accessed on our website and on Facebook. We've been going around recruiting local businesses to offer up their windows to be painted. So Halloween window painting is October 21st, 10 to 1. Spray Park will be closing on Sunday and winterized on Monday. So last opportunity, last warm opportunity, probably today. Somebody did go in today. And that's it.
Mr. Hager.
One thing, and this is actually for Ken, right now, the week of October 2nd, National Grid is scheduled to raise the manhole rims on the electrical vaults on West Entry Road. Rosselli is assisting us through the additive bid item or paving contract to do traffic control for that, so there will be lane closures on West Entry Road the week of October 2nd. Please be aware of the guys that are working there.
Okay. Ms. Falcone?
I'm all set, thank you.
Okay. We'll move on to the regular agenda items. So may I have a motion to adopt the local law number 8 of 2023 to establish a moratorium under section 102 of Town of Lysander Code on Tier 2 battery energy storage systems.
I'll move that.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carried. May I have a motion to hold a public hearing to adopt a local law to override the tax levy limit established in General Municipal Law 3C on Thursday, October 5th, 2023 at 6:30 p.m. in the Town of Lysander Town Hall.
I'll move it.
Okay, this resolution shall authorize the town clerk to advertise for sale.
Pete, I think Pete moved it, I'll second it.
Okay. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carried. May I have a motion to authorize the budget modification form submitted by the town comptroller for completion of sealing of the parking lot and curb repair at the Troopers Barracks and the addition of a commercial cyber insurance policy for the town of Lysander. I'll move it.
I'll second it.
Any discussion?
I just had a question.
Okay.
Is this something we bid out for the ceiling of the Troopers Barracks? Or is that,
It doesn't, the amount doesn't require a bid, it requires quotes.
okay, did we get other quotes?
We have to.
Okay, and I was just wondering where they came in.
Required to get the quotes.
Right, but I never see them, so that's why I was asking. I mean, it's on the
We'll
agenda.
be happy to share them with you.
Okay, where did they come in at?
I'll share them with you afterwards.
Well, okay, then I won't vote because I don't know what the other quotes are, that's all. Okay, thank you.
Well, the quote that, what are you looking for with the quotes?
We're just wondering, was this the cheapest quote or was this the best work?
It was the
You're required to go with the least expensive quote.
least expensive quote, and that the person that did that, didn't he do, I don't know about the ceiling, but the curbing, person that did.
Curbing, the contractor with the curbing was separate from the contractor with the.
Right, but he was the one who did the sidewalk at the.
Yes.
So the person that did the sidewalk at the spray park as well. Ceiling, I don't know, the ceiling is just, ceiling is it striping?
Sealing and striping.
So,
The least expensive quote for sealing and striping was Pinnacle Sealing.
and right, we've got ceiling and curbing repair. I was just wondering, what are the breakdowns for each? Or was it all one? Was it the same company?
They're two separate, basically two separate jobs,
Okay,
two separate quotes.
right, we're spending $28,000, and I'm just wondering how much it was for each, that's all.
Well, your curb repair over there is at $17,500, that's the lowest quote.
Okay. So,
And your ceiling was at, the ceiling and striping was at $4,590.
so, and I'm just a little confused, because that comes to about $22,000.
Yeah, but it's two separate quotes. It's two separate jobs. So with the two separate jobs, in order, you have to get quotes if it's under $20,000 from 3 written quotes from 3 different vendors, estimates. And so the curbing was one. That was what, did you say, 4,500?
Now the curbing is $17,000.
Oh, 17,000. And striping was 4,500.
Striping and sealing is $4,590.
Right.
Two separate companies, two separate jobs.
Yeah,
It's 21,000.
we're moving almost $30,000. That's my question.
But didn't she move money for the?
Yeah, there's other money in there as well. For the,
That's separate.
That's
That's separate.
is there a
We're moving
separate?
28,551, but the quote came in at 21.
No, we moved $29,250 to
Yeah.
get to that amount.
Yeah. There's $8,000 missing, or unaccounted, I would say.
Yeah, I didn't notice that.
Is that the site
You know why
review?
pardon?
I don't know where, I didn't see the modification, I didn't know what number she.
Yeah.
put in.
Yeah, we did, I didn't notice that in the beginning. But in any event, even though that's, you're moving it to building other to the trooper building operating amount, if the money isn't spent, it goes back into the general fund. They're both funds that are already allocated. So I don't know why she put the 29.5 in there. I can't answer that. I didn't notice that. Because I wasn't, I knew the amount,
Well, is this something we have to pay immediately? I mean, if it's not, I'd just like to have a little more information before I go on moving monies, budget modifications, so I know where the money's going. If there's other stuff that comes out of that, she's preparing for that for the rest of the year, because I saw it was a negative amount.
The work hasn't been done, has it? No. So, yeah. And I have a question too on the cybersecurity insurance. What does this entail? For the 3,158?
that's just, it's cybersecurity. I mean, I'm not an expert, but that covers us in case we get hacked. That's what that's for.
Well, what is that?
What's it entail? I can't tell.
Yeah, like if we get a ransomware in here for $5 million, is the insurance company going to pay the $5 million to release our information? Because this is what I do. It's my living.
Yeah.
It's my expertise. I would want to know exactly what this entails.
Yeah,
Right, what it covers.
What it covers.
I want to see the
And who's
policy.
the company? I want to see the policy. What's it all entail? If you get hacked, then what does that really mean? You know, someone stole your information.
Can we table this?
We can
Mr.
take-
Supervisor, can I just want to kind
Well-
of explain that too. The cyber policy, we had our IT, our website people looked at, or our IT people who oversee everything, look at it to make sure that it was, so that's just part of the policy if you want to look at it.
Yeah, I want to see what it entails
We
too,
had,
especially with the ransomware. That's huge now. too,
We had
right?
Syracuse Technologies look at it too, just to make sure, because
Good.
that was an
He just wants to know
extra.
Yeah.
what's covered.
Yeah, because Bob was like, this is a lot. I mean, it's, it is a lot,
Yeah.
but it does cover on certain things.
Yeah.
And we
Well,
also, I think we also got a little bit of a discount on it too, because we have the web root now. And web root is like a detection for any kind of viruses and things that come in. So we got actually, that could have been more, but we got a little bit of a discount from what I understand.
I'd like to see it all.
Yeah.
Thanks, though.
Well, I don't have it.
No.
Well, what we'll do is anything related to the computer stuff, we can forward to
Yeah.
Counselor Kudaraskis, and then he can review it before we make any decisions on it, because this is an area that I don't have any experience in. And I know how to turn on a computer and use the internet, but that's the extent of it. When it comes to fixing my computer, I have to take it out to somebody, so we can table this one for now. We got time to do that, don't we?
Yeah. We're gonna have time.
Sure we do.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, striping might be a problem. Okay, we'll table this motion then. We have a motion to declare the following items for Town Clerk's Office surplus. Planner monitor serial number PLL 2410W.
I will move that.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carried. I don't see any reason for an executive session tonight. May I have a motion to adjourn at 7:08.
I'll do it.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.